Let's get into my review of The Gorge. I was so looking forward to it. It's my favorite genre. For it to be sci-fi and a little bit action thriller, and they threw in some romance. If you want to see this, you might want to turn off my video now because I am going to have spoilers. I can't not talk about it, and spoilers come in very quickly in this movie. It's about 30 minutes in, you know what's up. This movie stars Anna Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller. They are these two hired assassins that are standing post on either side of this gorge to make sure whatever's in the gorge doesn't get out. The cinematography here is absolutely beautiful and perfection for the tone and the mood of the movie. I have no issues with this. Set design, scenery, execution here is all on point. We have Levi landing at the gorge and he meets the guy who was holding post there previously. So he gives him a little backstory of the gorge, and I felt all this was really eerie and interesting. We also got to know Anna Taylor-Joy's character, and she has already arrived at her station. I liked these two characters kind of slowly recognizing each other and getting a little interested. In the first 30 minutes, we have our first interaction. You know, they're passing notes back and forth across the gorge. It's cute, it's fun, but in this very same moment, they decide to ruin what the suspense is holding for us, which is what's down in the gorge. Let's show you right now. Right off the bat, the creatures come out of the gorge. They're revealed to be miniature treebeards. Just shrink Treebeard down to human size. That is what's in the gorge, guys. Tree people. It's like, I don't know why they thought that that would be scary, but I am not scared of a tree person coming out of a gorge to get me. Like, it's a tree. I mean, that is probably the most unscary thing I could think of, is a tree come to life. It just ruined it for me, okay? It ruined it for me. Seeing these tree creatures climb out of the gorge, and then we have this action scene. Although well played, I just don't feel like these characters are menacing at all. I also have some questions about how they just didn't get out of the gorge before this. They were almost unaware that they were already out and up the post. There were so many too. I'm talking like 30 tree people climbing out of this gorge. Right up in their faces. The movie does this weird thing where it like shocks you with this information and then it just totally resumes back to where it should have been, which is these two characters getting to know each other from across the gorge, passing notes, they're going through the seasons. I really like this part of the movie. The chemistry, the actors, the lead-in was pretty great. Without spoiling too much, Levi has to go across the gorge to see Drasa because their connection is so strong. So he traverses to the other side. On his way back, his rope snaps and he falls into the gorge. Drasa parachutes in after him. She conveniently finds him very quickly, and I was like giving the movie a second chance here. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens down here. Maybe I can get used to these tree creatures. And the cinematography down in the gorge, the atmosphere is really on point. So they've got all the elements that I really desired except for the suspense, the story, and the creatures, which kind of big. I didn't really care for the execution of this down here. It was very predictable, run-of-the-mill. It's a little bit like Walking Dead, but also these creatures aren't menacing, so it just becomes a shoot-'em-up situation. They find the old laboratory where a lot of this stuff went down. It's got tons of old tech from the 1940s in it, along with a conveniently placed film reel that tells them exactly what they need to know. We've got this old scientist telling them how it happened, how long you have before you're contaminated, just giving the entire backstory for the gorge. So I don't know how they found the right one, but they sure did. Another thing that bothers me about this segment is we've got all this old tech, and then they go over and they find this new tech, a newer computer with some more convenient information, along with a webcam that Sigourney Weaver is watching them through. I just want to know how that computer got down there, because the last brigade they sent into the gorge, nobody returned, and no one is able to go down there and come back up. Their escape from the gorge is also particularly bothersome. They just like find a 1940s vehicle and go, oh, we can use that as a winch and ascend the gorge with the rope that snapped earlier. Like, it's not really making the most sense, but that's what they do. We've essentially got them ascending out of the gorge in this old vehicle while all these tree people just just clobber them from either side. I just can't get past these moments, guys. I just can't. I just can't. The movie could have been smarter here. It's honestly just a corny action scene, but I'm fine with corny action scenes, but I would like to be afraid of the monsters. That's too much to ask. When we get to the top, the movie pretty much resumes again to a better pace. I like the way they executed the end of this movie with the plan that Drasa and Levi had. I thought it was pretty cool. Overall, the plot was weak, the design was weak, and it was just choppy in execution. A lot of implausible moments that I just couldn't get past. Like I said, I watched it again and thought, you know, this movie's not half bad. Tree monsters, like really? Let me know in the comments if you've already watched it and what your thoughts were. I just couldn't get past some of the flaws. Yeah, it was not a win for me, sadly. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching and all the support. You guys are absolutely awesome. And please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And I'll see you guys in the next one.